Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching Money Right. My name is Dzifa Grey, and I want to say thank you for staying in tune. To this amazing interview that we're going to have soon. The reason is because Yekrumohaye Findodo viewers. You drive past, you get to the areas that are tiled, and then right after that, even some of the gutters around smells and look choked. I think the best thing to do is recycle. We have to learn how to recycle. Ghana must recycle. And I have two gentlemen in the studio, young gentlemen. I just found out from one that he's in a relationship. And then my cameraman said, you've got someone speaking and you are saying you're in a relationship. But they are amazing personalities who are doing some great things in Ghana. And can you please introduce yourself, Julius?
Okay, I'm Julius-Jayson Botchway,
Okay.
and I'm the team leader of Recycle Up Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm Alhassan Muniru. I'm one of the co-founders of the Recycle Up Ghana initiative.
Julius, you're a Christian.
Yes, of
And
course.
you're a Muslim.
Yes.
Viewers, look, I know that Ghana sometimes with politics, lately, I'm sure this week has been one hell of some noises in our ears, about one party and the other. But the truth is that I believe that if we should all come back together, whether in power or not, a lot will be changed. Just like these young generations are doing, we are trying our best to do. Julius and Hassan, honestly speaking, Ghana must recycle. Let's start with Hassan. What's your take?
Yes, we should. 86% of the total waste that we get, we generate in the country is recyclable. So if we were to do something with this amount, it will save us a lot of space, which in terms of a lot of the waste which is going to landfill side, then we could also use a lot of it for recycling and generate some money from it also.
Julius, what has really changed, when it comes to the ability to actually recycle, get people or educate them to understand what recycle is and how good it will impact our society?
Okay, the truth is, for waste, we can't stop generating them. Of course, since we need to consume as human beings, we always have to generate. Let's pick a case study of water sachets. There's a study that averagely everybody takes 3 water sachets every day.
Okay.
And Greater Accra alone has a population of 2.7 million. So that should tell you generate 8.1 million water sachets daily.
Wow.
And if this is not recycled, just do the math. Let's talk about a year. How many are we going to generate?
Yeah.
So it is always expedient. You educate people. Of course, knowledge will lead to them practicing.
Yeah.
So you educate people, and with Recycle Up Ghana, what we are doing is we are actually targeting the youth.
Yeah.
And when we target the youth, we believe the transition is very, very smooth because the younger generations go home. The children that we are working with talk to their grandparents, their parents, their siblings, and then we get a message across.
Indeed.
We also work with university students who we believe are the future leaders, the future policymakers, the future government. So I think with time, just activism, creation of awareness, we are really going to get somewhere.
I think it really makes sense, because if you're a president or if you're a member of parliament, if you're a minister, and your child actually gets to be educated well, he or she comes and says, Daddy, you have to do something. I'm sure this will really play a very great impact now.
Exactly.
Just this morning on my way to work, okay, I drove out of the house and I saw a woman. I had moved into a new neighborhood, so I have to say hello, like, hey, hi, I'm your new neighbor. So the guy was actually paying or collecting a receipt from a woman. So I asked, why are you paying any bill that I'm supposed to be aware of? And then he said, oh, it's the rubbish collectors. So I asked, how much is it? So I asked, this is just this morning. So I asked, how much are you paying? And the woman said, 40 Ghana cedis every month. And I said, okay, that's not really bad, because some of them charges a lot, right? Yeah. So then I said, so would you give me a bean? He said, no. I said, oh, 40 Ghana every month. You can't give me a bean. I said, okay, fine, no problem. And then I said, do you have a form? He said, oh, I have to. I said, she asked, where is your house? She said, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? I said, right there. But I understand that the demand for people to collect rubbish is high. But what about them educating, their customers, their clients, that why don't you actually keep one of the bins, or we are actually presenting a bin to you so you can recycle. Why is that not happening?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to awareness creation and also creating alternative uses for the waste that we are generating. So back to the awareness creation, that's one of the things that we are doing at Recycle Lab Ghana, and I'm very happy we are here with Julius, who is one of our ambassadors and went through our training, and then you can see what you about the waste.
Very passionate about now. The way about you are passionate about it. But Julius, why are you so passionate about recycling?
I don't know why people are not passionate about recycling.
Wow.
So by default, where you live should be of concern to you.
Absolutely.
Okay, just look at Ghana. Just in Nkrumah Circle, just a few years ago, an average 1 hour of rains, just moderate rain, not even very heavy rains, and then the whole place gets flooded. Why? Because the gutters are choked with rubbers.
Yeah.
So if we really want to live and live a sound life, we should be concerned about where we live, and that's just my motivation.
You truly love your country and you want to enjoy. Like, sometimes you're in an air-conditioned car, but you still actually hold your breath and stuff like that. Look, this is very important. But one of the things I want to talk about is the fact that you're an NGO.
Yes.
And you've taken it upon yourself to make sure that Ghanaians are educated about recycling.
Yeah.
But tell Ghanaians what recycling will really do for them, for us. You tell me, tell us what the benefits of recycling.
Yeah. So there are several benefits from environmental benefits, and also I'll just give some numbers. Yeah. So at the moment, I think the country we spend around 200 million Ghana cedis every year for collection, transportation, and landfilling of the waste being generated in the country.
Okay.
And as I already said, about 86% of this waste is recoverable, so we can use them to do something. So one of the benefits of recycling is it helps us save virgin materials. So instead of cutting down trees or going to make new materials, the energy also being used to generate to create new materials, all of them can be saved if we are recycling. Another numbers also that I would like to also share is like the recycling industry in Ghana. One of our colleagues made a study during her master thesis. Her name is Heather. She found out that if we were to do recycling, it's worth around 73 million Ghana cedis from the resources that we have alone. And this it has the potential to create over 5 million jobs in the country.
I mean, I think it was quite worse before Zoom Lion came on board. I mean, they really took it on seriously, and they're still, but it's not easy because some of us are very stubborn. Extremely stubborn. But now there's a video for us to watch, right? Viewers, this is all for you, okay? Especially for you. So let's have a look at this video. When we come back, we'll talk more.
Every morning, waste fires are lit around the Ghanaian capital, Accra. The burning of plastic contaminates air and soil at toxic dump sites such as Abu Bloshi, where scrap collectors like Mohamed Dagomba and his friends hope to extract some valuable materials from waste. The burning threatens their own and other people's health.
This is our work. Truly speaking, it's not easy. There is a lot of illness. Some people have even died through this work.
Seeds. You see, inside my body and my neck. Everything.
Plastics are not only dangerous when they're burned. When disposed of improperly, plastic waste clogs up rivers and storm drains. This area gets flooded every year, causing cholera outbreaks and many dead. 2 years ago, Abdul Rahim Shaibu Issa helped found Recycle Up, which brings together students from Germany and Ghana to explore smart ways of recycling plastics in Ghana. The initiative has grown to more than 100 members.
These plastics in Ghana is actually an enormous problem. These plastics keep choking our gutters, and we've been experiencing flood. Now, if you burn these plastics comes out with harmful gases such as dioxins, and it also contributes to depleting of the ozone layer.
Among Ghana's biggest polluters are pure water sachets. The little plastic bags are filled with drinking water and discarded everywhere. The water sachets account for about 85% of the total plastic refuse. Recycle Up works together with schools around the country and educates pupils about the harmful effect of plastics in the environment. The initiative set up recycling clubs to collect the water sachet waste in 15 high schools, reaching more than 9,000 pupils.
I think primarily it's reduced the quantum of waste on our compound. Instead of them dumping, you know, there are about more than 2,000 students. It's also giving them a lot of leadership skills because they go out to teach other people how to keep a clean environment.
Recycle Up wants to change the minds of young people about plastic. The material should not be seen as waste, but as a valuable resource. The different Recycle Up school clubs collect about 200 kilos of plastic waste every week. The carefully separated waste is then sold to local recycling companies who turn it into new products.
Recycle Up aims at project sustainability. The little monies we are getting from the sales of these plastics are used to sustain the project. Sometimes these plastics or these dustbins are worn out and they get broken, and we need to replace them. We have to locally generate our own funds out of these sales of plastics to replace old and broken dustbins.
Welcome back, viewers. It's still Morning Ride, and I still have Alhassan and Julius right here in the studio. And I'm sure that after watching that video, you will try your best from now. When you drink your pure water, you'd actually find a better place to put it, and then actually find those who deserve to actually have it for a better use. But I know it's very difficult because of pressure now so soon. What top pure water and what to baby? I know it happens. Okay, we're not very used to it. Africans are not very used to it. Not all of us. We are not used to it. You understand what I mean? But we have to try our best. Let me throw this to Julius. Julius, I can see that you really want to box here today so that my viewers will start recycling. But honestly speaking, what are some of the little ways at home can people try and recycle? Let's start with education.
Okay, this is very simple.
Okay.
First of all, we need to know waste management doesn't just end after you have collected. Unfortunately, most of the elites in this country think if I have a dustbin, I put all my waste, all other classes of waste into one bin, and then a certain group of people come to collect it, then I have disposed properly. But that is not what proper waste disposal is. You're supposed to put the waste into classes. There's paper, there's plastics.
Okay, but you see, I get what you mean. Okay, go on.
Well, we may not be able to do that too much, but then even if we are to create 2 or even 3 categories, it's way better separating among them than you putting everything into one container. So what I want us to do is, you can just use a laundry basket. This costs less than 10 cedis.
Hey, less than 10 cedis.
Yes.
Let's talk about that average, that sister of mine or brother of mine who lives in a kiosk.
Can I come in?
Hold on, mommy. Your 10 cedis like will be monthly sika.
Yeah,
okay.
Go on.
Alternatively, you can just use a rubber bag, a black rubber, and then you put the water sachets in. The good news is you take it to the buyback centers, and then they actually give you money for that.
Yeah.
Instead of that going to our gutters and then burning them and the rest.
So where do you keep it? Because you know those dogs that every night they're just they're looking for something to destroy. Go on. So after you put it in the black rubber, you keep it somewhere safe,
exactly.
Right? And then next move.
What we do is we collect from the residents, okay, and then we keep at a place because, of course, you can't call a buyer to come and pick very little because of fuel cost and the rest. So we try to keep an appreciable quantity, and then they come, they weigh, and then they give us some little token so that we can just reinvest back into our activities.
Okay, so, but is it supposed to be little token?
This is a very major problem, okay? You need about 200 water sachets to get 1 ton.
Wow.
And that means you need about 4,000 water sachets to get 20 kg, to get 1 kg, sorry, not 1 ton.
Yeah.
You need about 4,000 water sachets to get 20 kg. And after you have gone around, take yourself as a scavenger who goes around looking for water sachet. You go around, all around, to wherever you go, nobody knows. You get 4,000 pieces of water sachet, and you only get 13 cedis for that.
Okay, so, you know, sometimes, I mean, I get passionate about things like this because I actually come across old women who should be resting, who should be, you know, being well taken care of, going round picking water sachets, and it breaks my heart.
Yes.
And some guys and some kids who are supposed to be in school. I know this is an overall conversation for another day, but isn't there a better alternative? Can our country have one of these machines like other countries do have? Or probably make provisions for beans. Maybe every 2 minutes, I mean, at a point where people can dump their rubbish into it. I think, look, that is another thing, because poverty has actually got people doing these things. And I believe that there are people like yourself who have time to go around and, but it's serious.
Yeah, yes.
Take over.
Okay. So I think it goes both ways. So I will want to touch on also to what Julius said and then come back to this one. So in terms of what individuals can do, I think when you look at the waste management hierarchy, it starts from the reduce. So we need to first reduce the amount of waste that we are using. Even starting, I will start from refuse, because there's a lot of waste that we generate in the country that is useless. You go and buy one orange and it's put in a black polythene bag for you. It's not necessary. You know, so we have to start refusing a lot of the of waste that we are collecting, which is not necessary. It goes together with waste reduction, because then when we reduce the amount of waste that we are, you know, creating, and also reusing also. So then you have a bag, you can use it several times. You don't have to, you know, use it all the time. You can have a bottle with you wherever you go. You get a water, you pour it into your bottle, then you can use it several times. So these are simple steps that we can do. And then the big ones that we cannot do anything when we've tried the refusal, the reduction, and the reusability. Then we'll also look at, we say we recycle these things. And when it comes to recycling, it's a very broad issue. It's very complex, and it needs a lot of investment and resources. So this is where also it comes in. Everybody must get involved, both individuals, the private sector, and also the government, because then we need the government needs to help create an enabling economic environment to make it easy to recycle. Then if that is in place, then we will have also, you know, the private individuals, because I would say that it's not the government's duty to set up the recycling companies. It's not for private individuals, it's business, you know. But then if it's not lucrative enough, then businesses, the private individuals are not going to set up businesses to do the recycling. So first we need to have that economic incentive to make it easy for people to say, okay, I'm going to set up a recycling company because it's lucrative. Then it also makes it easy to, you know, get everybody involved.
You know, these things are very important, and it's a daily routine where individuals have to inculcate themselves into. And if you're waiting for the government to actually do it for you, when they don't even know the ampesia bowl feel
exactly
pure water, yogurt, the fan milk. I like fan ice. I like fan ice. I mean, I've not had some in a while. You should buy me one. But I'll make sure. What I do is, I mean, when I eat my car, you know, it's one of the reasons why I can't lose weight, because you're driving and you're going rounds and eating. So, but when I eat my car, I put it in my car. I mean, I leave the rubbish in the car, and then when I get home or get to a car wash, but I don't know where they take it to. So all of these people need to be educated. However, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Zoom Lion actually approached you for a collaboration. You guys could do much more better things, you know, to change our country into a very cleaner, you know, like Ghana cruise on Accra cruise, and now team him. Alhassan and Julius, thank you so much for coming. I am an advocate for this, and I call them. I actually say Fawadi and all. I do that.
Yeah.
You do that too? I do that.
We have to start, you know, small by little by little, you know, little drops, and then we'll get there.
You know, when you say it calmly, they don't listen.
Of course.
So when you say, now when you know, when you add some sort of it's a macho style, you know what I mean? But guys, you're doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing you work with Zimwine, honestly speaking. And probably yes, the government. Why not? Yes. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for receiving us.
Viewers, recycle. You got fun nice. Now here I come. Viewers, stay tuned. I have more for you.